Right-minded choice is a team-building tool for workplace teams. It's simple to understand, and it will help you create and sustain teammate accountability. Now, if everyone on your team were asked, I am certain all of you would say it is far better to behave in an accountable, right-minded way versus acting like a victim or a victimizer when difficult team situations happen. Since that is the case, you're going to like how this simple concept will help you do just that. Agree on how to behave as accountable, efficient, and effective teammates. Now, in this video, I'm going to give you a brief explanation of what you see on the choice card. On one side, you see the model that depicts the two choices you have when a difficult situation happens. On the other side, you see a definition of right-minded accountability, along with one of the most important questions teammates can ever ask of themselves. Now, since you and your teammates know that it is far better to behave in an accountable, right-minded way, it's important that all of you have at least one definition of what accountability means to you. Now, here's how the choice model defines accountability. It is your individual and your collective desire, your willingness and ability to change your mind and your behavior in order to effectively respond to difficult situations. Now, folks, you know as well as I do that difficulties and challenges and setbacks will always happen. And when they do, it's how you respond that determines your success. Now, the choice model advocates, of course, that you respond in an accountable and an emotionally intelligent way. Well, how do you do that? Well, you ask yourself this emotionally intelligent, honest question, which is, how did I or how did we create, promote, or allow this situation to happen? And when you do this and when you're honest, that means you're owning your part. And when every teammate does that, you will find good solutions to your difficulty. Now, I'm confident that many of the concepts in the choice model you're going to like, but please let me emphasize these three words on the card. Those three words are create, promote, and allow. And also, let me describe a situation, and then I'm going to take a deeper dive into how you use those three words. Now, most of you, or all of you, I'm sure, work in organizations that value safety in the workplace. In other words, it's important for you and your family and for your organization for you to not get hurt and certainly to go home in the same healthy condition as you did when you arrived at work that morning. Now, let's say you and I are teammates. One morning, I arrived at work before you did, and as I was walking into my work area, I stopped to talk to one of our teammates. I put down my briefcase, or say put down my toolbox on the ground, but it was partially blocking the walkway. And now you arrive at work. You see me talking to our teammate, but you don't see my toolbox. You trip and you fall. Who created the accident or the fall? Well, many of you are thinking that I created it, but that's not true. You did it. You're the one who tripped. You created the accident. But I promoted the accident, right, by placing the toolbox in the walkway. And what about our teammate? He saw the toolbox but said nothing. Didn't he allow your fall to happen by saying nothing? Well, can you see how this is the way you use those three words? Asking this of yourself in an honest and genuine way is right-minded, emotionally intelligent choice. And I assure you, these three words will work in every difficult situation you will ever have. Promise. Try it. You'll see what I mean. All right, now turn the card over and let's walk through the steps. When a difficult situation happens, you, the decision maker, make a choice. Now, the choice model says you only have two choices in life. But folks, there are thousands of variations of those two choices. Let's step first through the lower loop. Now, when we think and act like a victim, the first thing we want to do is to avoid the difficulty because actually we hope someone else will handle it. But in the workplace, there's just so much avoiding you can do until someone says you were involved in that difficulty. Well, that's kind of upsetting to you, and you reject or deny your role. But they persist and say, no, you were involved. And now you get a little angry, and you kind of attack them or maybe others. And then they get angry, and they attack you back. And naturally, you defend yourself. And for a while, all of you are stuck in the classic attack-defend cycle until you get so tired that you have to retreat or hide. Now, all the while, no one has yet resolved the difficulty. Instead, everyone is just blaming and saying, it's not my fault. But when you've acted in an emotionally intelligent, accountable way, you first acknowledge the difficulty. Next, you immediately accepted your part by asking that honest question. How did I or how did we create, promote, or allow this to happen? And when all of you do this together, you know what you do? You create a positive tone in your team. It's a forgiving and a learning environment. And this kind of environment, which you have created, will help all of you innovate a solution that will adjust your processes or your work behaviors, which means, of course, your team now recovers from the difficulty. So let's summarize. Accountability is your desire, willingness, and ability to change your mind and your behavior when difficult situations happen. To change your mind, you ask the emotionally intelligent question, how did I create, promote, or allow this situation to happen? And when all teammates ask this question and you share your answers with one another, your team is now ready to create new solutions or work agreements, which means you adjust and recover from the difficulty. Living and working in the upper loop of the choice model essentially guarantees that you will create right-minded teamwork.